mean to tell me you got to guard Joel Embiid, who was the former MVP, and Tyrese Maxey, who's averaging 31 a game this year? Good luck. I bring all that to say we all need to relax. Sixers fans, woo side with me. We're going to be all right. What's good, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Wrong vs. Right. I'm your host, Jay. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe down below. Today, we're going to be talking about whether or not it's time for the Sixers to panic or not. If you've been keeping up with the Eastern Conference, the Sixers are 1-3. They've only won one game, and they've lost 3 games so far. Obviously, 2 of their heavy hitters, Paul George and Joel Embiid, are out of the lineup with injuries. It's been revealed that the Sixers haven't been entirely truthful about the nature of Joel Embiid's injury. Although we could all see that if you watch the Olympics, Joel Embiid could barely dunk, and he's 7 foot tall. Real basketball fans already knew that he was still hurt. But to answer the question directly, we all need to slow down a little bit. For those who are new to the channel, I'm a diehard Sixers fan, so I'm just a little bit biased. But they've been playing these games without 2 of their best players, Paul George and Joel Embiid. These aren't just any players, these aren't role players. These are star players who make up, I would say, about 50% to 60% of their offense and what they're trying to do. But let's dig deeper into that. The Sixers offense is revolved around Joel Embiid. It involves Joel Embiid catching the ball either in the low post or the high post, to which role players like Caleb Martin, Kelly Oubre, they can cut to the basket, back screen, set up shooters like Paul George or Tyrese Maxey or Eric Gordon. That's what the offense is made to do. So when you take out a big piece of the offense, essentially the hub of the offense isn't going to run as smoothly. Now you have guys playing out of their role. For example, in these first couple games, Tyrese Maxey is essentially the only guy that can create his own shot, with the exception of Kelly Oubre sometimes. And Kelly Oubre, while he's a good player, he's not the most efficient offensive player, which means he takes bad shots, contested shots. He can still make them, but it's not really his game. Same thing with guys like Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin is a role player. He has the heart of a lion. He dives every loose balls. He can take on the challenge of guarding your best player, and he can score too. But he's being asked to play out of his position. He's being asked to create more. He can do it. He can create, but it's really not his best skill. So where does that leave us? It leaves us with Tyrese Maxey generating all the offense. And the defense knows that. The Bucks knew that. The Detroit Pistons knew that. The Indiana Pacers knew that. All these teams that are going against the Sixers, the Raptors included, they all know that if you stop Tyrese Maxey, you can win the game. So how do they do that? They're physical with him, 94 feet. They have somebody like Gary Trent Jr. or Delon Wright, another defender, just guarding him the entire way. That kind of physicality on defense adds up over a 48-minute game. I really think this attributes to Maxey's subpar shooting percentages so far in the season. It's because the defense is just focusing in on him so much. The reason it's not time for Sixers fans to panic is because that man Paul George is coming back and Joel Embiid is coming back. Now, we don't know when they're coming back. Hopefully it's this Saturday. But when they come back, it's an entirely different story. Question: how do you guard Joel Embiid one-on-one? The answer is you can't. So that means you have to double team. Now a shooter's open. Who do you leave open? Okay, let's say you leave Caleb Martin open. Caleb Martin is a solid knockdown shooter, but even if you do leave him open, he can cut to the basket. He can screen for a shooter like Tyrese Maxey or Paul George. Paul George is one of the best catch-and-shoot players in the entire NBA. Or Eric Gordon. He's also one of the best shooters in the NBA. So having Joel Embiid on the court is monumental to the Sixers' success on the offensive end. Oh, and don't get me started on the defensive end. Defensively, the only rim protector that the Sixers have had is Andre Drummond. And he's really not the best shot blocker. He can do it, but it's not his skill set. He's better at rebounding and getting steals. When you have a guy like Joel Embiid playing defense, now he's blocking everything. People are scared to go in for layups. So even if a perimeter player gets beat on defense, Joel Embiid is right there to make you alter your shot or he blocks it, even on one leg. I've harped on this a lot in previous videos. Check them out. But Paul George, even at 34 years old, he's an all-star level player. He's not what he used to be in Indiana, obviously, or even OKC, but he's still an all-star level player as your third option. Let me repeat that. He's your third option. Not your first option, not your second option, your third option. Whatever you want to say about Paul George, he's instant offense. He's a 3-level scorer, so he can beat you from the perimeter, from the mid-range, or at the basket. So to recap again, we've talked about Joel Embiid, and we talked about Paul George. So those are 2 offensive superpowers that you have on offense. Now we get to Tyrese Maxey, who, by the way, is averaging 31 points a game so far this year. So you mean to tell me You got to guard Joel Embiid, who was the former MVP, and Tyrese Maxey, who's averaging 31 a game this year. Good luck. I bring all that to say we all need to relax. Sixers fans, woo side with me. We're going to be all right. Only thing that concerns me right now is the health of the Sixers. Chemistry needs to be developed on the court in real game scenarios. So by the time you get to the playoffs, you know where guys are going to be. You know where the defensive rotations are going to be. You guys don't get mad at each other, on defense if somebody messes up a rotation or someone misses a shot. You need on-court time together. If you play any type of sport, basketball, football, soccer, you need experience playing with your guys in a real game scenario. But I really do believe that Tyrese Maxey, he's the X factor on this team. Once he gets his guys back, that's really going to take the team a lot further. Tyrese Maxey has injected the Sixers with positive, infectious energy. He makes guys want to play harder. He brings that positive energy to you guys. So when guys get down, he lifts other guys up. It's always funny to watch how people react when a team is doing bad. Oh, you guys stink. This is the worst team ever. You guys aren't going anywhere, XYZ. And then those same people, when they go on a winning streak, they're nowhere to be found. You just can't find them anymore. They don't make any comments on Instagram anymore. They don't make any comments on Facebook. They're just nowhere to be found. I'm really interested to see where these people are going to be when the Sixers go on a 5-game win streak, a 7-game win streak. Where are those people going to be? This doesn't only go for the Sixers, of course. This goes for any team. So that's why it's always good practice to not get too high, not get too low. Stay even keeled. Trust the process. Sixers are going to be all right. Hey, if you watch this far in the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Everybody can't be wrong, but everybody can be right. I'm out.